Did you get the invitation?
I see it.
Bro, my team is dry as hell, bro.
Wait.
You see it?
No.
What do you see now?
I'm trying to join. You just go live.
I am live.
Alright.
You see it? Man, we talking about some deep shit right now, bro. You see it now, Malik?
Yeah, I see it.
Are you in it?
Yeah, you in the screen is talking about tokens. Now it's thread cone or something.
We are set, ready to rock for this Madden Ultimate Team matchup, and these guys on your screen ready to rock as well. Some of the stars of today's game, and speaking of the game, let's get right to it. The big left foot of Sebastian Janikowski ready to get us started, and off we go from uptown Charlotte. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
You the Panthers.
In the pistol.
Or you the Raiders.
Former Notre Damer, this is CJ Prosise. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling the plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1.
And that's the kind of pass that adds up over time, Brandon. You may not have picked up a first down there, but if you keep chipping away at it, eventually big plays may result.
Flushed out right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Here we go on 4th down now with Brady. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack.
Is he running it out the middle?
So they take a big chance here in their own territory, and you think
the
coach
crazy.
may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by
I thought you would do it, man.
And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out.
All right.
Offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Throwing on 1st down is Brady. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham Jr. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Odell Beckham 64 yards. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple...
That shit was foul, wasn't it, Malik?
That's the great one.
You seen that user pick I got, too?
All the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Out to his left. Shreds the tackle. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And brought down, but not before
This game
reaching
still
the
look the same, bro.
45-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Completion left side to Miller. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jabal Shears in there to sack him for a loss of 6. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. On third down, Wilson. He's got time in the pocket. Now he's flushed out left. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on third down.
A lot of receivers see the drag route as a risk-reward type of a play. The risk, going into the middle of the field where there's some big people want to hit you. But the reward is oftentimes you get lost in coverage, running a little bit underneath. And when you catch it just right, as we just saw there, the end result can be a big, big play.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a first down. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. His pass caught at the 4. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight.
And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. From the 2-yard line yet again. Let's see what they can do on third and goal. Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Derrick Henry punching it in from a yard away. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So out come the Raiders. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And caught left side, Olsen. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards there on the catch and run. Fresh set of downs here.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And this one caught by Cameron Brate. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Brady now to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. 23 yards on the play.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
And we've arrived at the 2-minute warning here in half number 1. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Brady now on 1st down. Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. Javon Curse coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. Brady to throw on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Throwing now is Brady, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. On now is the field goal team here as the Raiders will try for 3. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jabal Sheard in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. On 2nd down, Wilson goes underneath for Henry. It'll be a pickup at 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
Money, I'm about to tell you about my account.
Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
3rd and 2, now Wilson. And that is incomplete. Derrick Henry, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And that brings up 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Now it's Wilson. Steps away to his left. And it's complete. Henry. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on.
Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
The catch made by Miller. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. In the red zone this time.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practice.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
The final shot before half for Brady. Now he's going to throw deep back over the middle. It got his man complete. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jabal Sheard getting him once again. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. Now Wilson on second down. Left side here to Sanders. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he slides to avoid the hit. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
So this was a case of better safe than sorry. All the receivers were locked up, so he had to try and run for it, but he ended up having to slide short of the marker.
4th down. Here's Wilson. Being chased out left. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the longtime Raider, Willie Brown. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. The drive starts with C.J. Prosise. And he will lose yardage and be backed up. And the play clock's running down. First carry now for the backup, LaShawn McCoy. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down. And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. On first down, Brady. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in a good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
They turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. They go play action now. Wilson. And Brate, the tight end's got it. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up. And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late. They'll give Henry another shot. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. From back at the 3 now. This is 3rd and goal. On 3rd and goal, Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. And the 38-year-old vet able to split the uprights. And we are all tied here in the final stages. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
They'll start the drive with a carry by McCoy. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
They'll run it with McCoy. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
To throw is Brady. Over the middle to Beckham. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Well, timeout on their side here. In fact, a lot going against them. They do have a small glimmer of hope.
No one likes to play extra football. They want to go for the win right now. One of the selling points of the in route is against the quarterback, a really nice sight line to his receiver, and almost on a direct shot, able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
To throw is Brady. Caught left side, it's Beckham. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels. Got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy? And what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down? Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
A 2nd down carry for Procise. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Back to throw, Brady. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Here's Jacob Shum now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Decent chunk of yardage still left here, 2nd and 7. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. Henry takes a direct snap. They'll put it in the hands of their receiver, Sanders. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
Now the Packers get set to go. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd...
and it's intercepted. Brian Dawkins, the safety, with a pick. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. They have great starting field position here in overtime. You can bet they're not thinking field goal. They want to win this now.
And we know with the still relatively new overtime rules, the mindset has changed for everyone around the league about getting the ball because you want to score the touchdown to end the game. In this case, with this type of field position, even more of an emphasis on that. Settling for a field goal would feel like a failure now.
Again, they run. Again, it's Procise. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that a defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
Offense working with a 2nd and goal now from the 3. This is McCoy. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and a game winner in OT. We needed extra time to decide this one. The rushing score in OT finishes it off, but all throughout, really just a great game to witness.
I agree, and the whole time we were watching and working on this game, I had it in the back of my head. We could get to overtime. Just the way this game went, the ebb and flow of it all. And then to get there and finish it what I would call an old school way, a running play, because in today's NFL, we throw the ball to ring the bell, don't we?
Not there. They ran it in. And again, just a great, great game that we bore witness to. So that'll do it from here for Charles Davis and the rest of our crew. I'm Brandon. Charles and I set for this Madden Ultimate Team matchup as we get a peek some of the stars in today's game. Well, will they be stars? Will you be a star? We'll find out. Let's play. Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And off we go in Madden Ultimate Team. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. He'll come out throwing here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, partner, that was not a good omen right there. The very first play from scrimmage, you just want to give yourself a nice, simple throw and hopefully get yourself into a rhythm. That is the last thing you're expecting. And now you put your defense in a tough spot right from the word go.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 11 on the gain there. That's good for a Jets first down.
It should go without saying that anytime you run the football well and gain a nice chunk of yardage, that means the offensive line did their job and did it really well. But let's give them a little more credit than that. Because all week long, offensive line meetings, they're going over adjustments, counters, when the line shifts, all those things that go along with it. And yet, you still have to be physical. And that's what they did on the first play.
Ready to throw on second down. This will be caught at about the 3. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Tim Brown, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Jets have taken a first-quarter lead. He's got it, and the Jets lead 7-0. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. They overload him that time on the safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. He's got his tailback. That's Marcus Allen. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Flushed out right. Room here to run. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll make it a second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Let's go!
They'll look to throw here. Escaping the pressure right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Patrick DeMarco, the fullback, the one he was looking for. Third down here. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. And they're going to go soft on the corners. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. And he goes in motion here in the backfield. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Wide open receiver complete. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. With the former Volunteer Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Titans with a football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. On the toss, here's Allen. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Martellus Bennett, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got a key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. That's caught at the 3. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
A short gain that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Jets are going to get the football back. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
They'll throw again from their own end zone. Over the middle, he's got Tim Brown. A good pick up there of 20 yards. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Brady again here on 2nd and 10. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
I'm about to do a disservice to the catch we just saw. One-handed, coming down with it, just like that. Yeah, I know. Odell Beckham Jr. We're used to this, aren't we?
We are.
And that's just wrong on every level. That was spectacular. It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Looking back to the air on 2nd down, it's Brady. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
In most pass defenses, the guy playing safety has the ability to roam free and try and go to the football. But when you're in man, you've got to cover just like a guy playing out on the corner. Lock up on the receiver and go to the football. That's exactly what he did, batting that one away.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing is Brady on third down. And he comes back with one complete. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And now we're circling here around the 2-minute warning.
This is a setup play, trying to get one last one in before the clock warning.
From midfield, here's Brady. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. On second down, here's Brady. He'll dump it off to Procise. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. C.J. Procise, 58 yards. And the Jets find a way to stretch their lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here, he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow him to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to... And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Star ll-Moni-ll with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. And the O-line will have to do a better job protecting here on third down after that sack. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, Brian Dawkins, the safety, with a pick.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
They start out with a run from Procise. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
He's quite an eyeful, isn't he? Big, strong, physical guy. When he came out of school and I looked at my draft board, I went back through my notes to see how I had him rated. The number 2 back on my board coming out of college. Why? As I mentioned, big, strong, powerful guy, faster than you would think, and has the ability to catch the football out of the backfield, something that we didn't know he truly possessed. We saw that in the offseason workouts. Now he's putting his running ability to good use in the NFL.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. To throw is Brady. This will be caught at about the 3. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Tim Brown as the first half is winding down. And the Jets are going to add on to their lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it And we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They built a good first.
Now I've been in New York,
Hey, Malik. Hey, Malik.
Now I'm smelling like LA. Met it from Miami to the Machiavelli. Left the kids on the belly, left the vid on my celly. She ate like spaghetti. I'm hitting gas and Dreddy. Met some killers in Memphis like they from Oakland. Give me my flowers while I can smell them. Ain't talking about roses. Literally, I'm lean. Mix it like a bought it in Nashville. Then I woke up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's sun, California, but nothing like Compton. It's more like Calistoga, and it's hot as Arizona. I pop me a Fresno, hard colder than Minnesota in October. Don't interrupt, darling, I'm in the zone. Why does everywhere I go just remind me of home? You know that state of gold with the bed. Them other places come close, but they don't come.
Charles and I settled here in the booth. This should be a fun one. Madden Ultimate Team matchup as you get a look at some of the stars here of today's game. Let's get right to it. A clash of 2 of the more fervent fan bases around. The Cowboys and the Raiders are underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott, and he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And on the left side, he's got Witten. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Shift together here from the D-line.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time. When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it. Help me out, partner. Was that incomplete?
That was on a deep ball to Dez.
And that's a surprise. The way he attacks the football in the air, it's always surprising to me when he doesn't complete a pass like that.
Now let's go. So here we go. Elway on 4th down. Eluding the pressure right. Complete to Jason Witten. Give him 16 yards on the play. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. Getting outside and creating something. I mean, that's good on any down. When you're going for it on 4th, that's a big play.
And it wasn't designed at all. Not a design play for him to bootleg out or get outside the pocket. That's just feeling pressure, knowing where to exit. And as you mentioned, finding the first down on a 4th down play.
Here we go now. On 2nd down, Elway. Flush to his right. Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it's the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
His throw caught at about the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
This will be caught at about the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dez Bryant from 4 yards out. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Carry for C.J. Prosise. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. 2nd down following the run. Right back to Prosise. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
18 yards there and a first down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a first down. They'll pitch out to Prosise. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
When we did DeMarcus Ware's games in Dallas, didn't we spend most of the time talking about him rushing the passer?
We did, and how about now?
Oh, boy, he's expanded his game in a big way. Really does a great job in the run game now. Using his length, using his width.
Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
But this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. And Too Tall Jones in there to drop him. And back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. So on 4th down, here's Jake Shum to punt it away. Now Sanders. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play. It looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
One man in the backfield, Elliott. He'll get the football here. He finds some open field here. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. 1:57 to go in this first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. On 1st down, Elway. Flushed out right. Oh, he's got a little daylight. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the 1st down.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many...
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the 2nd half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5.
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. On 2nd down, Elway. Out left side here to Bryant. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is. to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, give it a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll set up the screen to Elliott. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Ll-Moni-ll throw, escaping the pressure right. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
Of all the routes that defenders would love to remove from offensive playbooks, I think the wheel route would rank near the top. And on that one, they almost had it, just wasn't able to come down in bounds.
Yeah, as you see right there for the running back, it's tough as you're going toward that sideline trying to stay in bounds. And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. The final shot before half for Brady. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically...
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. The co-MVP of Super Bowl 12, Randy White, forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. Now Brady on the bootleg. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Buying time to his left. He finds Beckham complete. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. And when he started rolling left there as a right-handed quarterback, I thought, boy, this 3rd down play is going nowhere. But credit to him, able to pick up the 1st.
And all you righties who are watching the game at home, get it?
And it's a fumble. Oh, the hurdle.
Oh, wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So the offense avoids disaster, keeps possession. Now it's 2nd down. They'll come out in the pistol. Brady to throw on 2nd down. Steps away. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Eluding the pressure right. And this is going to be incomplete.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding 3rd and short, guarding the 1st down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deion Sanders. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They'll run with Elliott, and he'll be tackled at about the 35. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
So much of the game today, they're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Second down now after the pass completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I believe a Cowboy was there to get it. He was, and Dallas will maintain possession. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Cowboys with the football. They'll be looking to tack onto their lead as we get set for the 4th. Second down fumble. Now the offense needing to do something here on 3rd down. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. On 3rd down, Elway. And that's caught by Beasley. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And on display right there, the arm that made John Elway a lot of money.
And that's going to leave a mark, because when he throws it with that much force, one of the best arms the game has ever seen, one of the strongest ones, it does leave a mark. They actually called it the Elway cross, because you could see the imprint on a player after he caught one of those bullet passes.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. From the red zone now, Elway on first down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. Again, it's Elway. Flush to his right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Jason Witten, the intended target. And it's 3rd and short.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The man with over 1,000 catches, Jason Witten, the intended receiver. And 4th down coming up. And the Cowboys will call on Dan Bailey here. This to make it a 3-score game late.
But, partner, anytime someone tells me that fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play, because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a 3rd down attempt.
And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the 4th. In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
This has been a really nice day for the defense. They've made it so difficult to find open receivers because they're able to squeeze the passing lanes down. A lot of what they're doing is communicating. Receivers in one area, receivers in another area. They're almost what they call passing them off from one defender to the next.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now Brady. And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. And no forward progress here. This is going to be a safety.